have a question. What is your opinions on social media right now? Because it's it was created to sort of connect us all together, right? That was the whole purpose of it. And by doing so, it actually did the opposite and actually sort of alienated every single person in real life. Instead, made you know people be more virtually connected, but not necessarily like intimately connected. What are your ideas?
I
What do you think?
I don't know. Right now, I kind of hate social media, even though I still use it. It's because of how like addictive it is and stuff. Like I can't put my phone down for like five. But it all depends on the person. I did um get off of social media for like I think 2 months, but that's the most I've done, and it really changed like my perspective on it. But then I got back onto it, so I don't know. What do you call that? Never mind.
You
I was
got
gonna
you
say
say
something.
say what were you gonna say?
Uh, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, well, it's going on about social media. I think I've personally been really detached from it my entire life. Like I didn't get social media until like 3, 4 years ago. So I managed to stave it off for most of my life. And actually I'm grateful for that because it's made me like I'm not like a social media person really.
Yeah,
I'm like
same.
I don't post all the time. I don't check all the time either.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that detachment gives me like a shell or it gives me like an armor where I don't depend on
Yeah.
what's going on in my social media feed or anything. I don't it's not like my source of entertainment. It's not like my
Mm.
um
It's not your life, basically.
yeah, it's not my safe haven. It's not where I validate myself.
Which kind of sucks because a lot of people nowadays are defined by the amount of likes and the amount of followers they got. And
Well,
so like,
there's a search for validation in
well,
there.
yeah, but it's like it's very very rooted in insecurity and sort of
Right.
like you could tell how fragile someone is by just when you tell them that your followers don't mean nothing. Like you could tell like whenever they're like they're heartbroken. It's like, oh my god,
Yeah.
how dare you say that? It's like, yeah, but I mean, why do you care about what how many followers you got or how many?
Well, that's a product of social media, like or growing up on social media, I guess.
Well,
Right.
yeah, exactly. Which is because nowadays a lot of people are like really fake. I think. Whereas like a lot of people they'll post stuff on their feed or whatever, and then
Right.
be
They're
kind or whatever. Promote this, no, 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 and then you meet them in real life, and they're
I
just
mean,
not that.
on social media, you're like promoting a different version of yourself, I
Well,
guess.
exactly. Like
it's the made up, of course. It's like it's fragments of yourself. So even if you're genuine in everything you post, it only ends up being fragments. So no matter what, it ends up being a facade of sorts or a construct of you, you know?
mm,
Just as it is for like in any media, when you present yourself in media, it's you see aspects of a person, but you don't see a person.
yeah, but the bad part about that is a lot of people tend to judge that aspect
Yeah,
of
well,
the person.
social media makes that like this
But
this
it's
media
weird because
cast version of yourself is the
yeah,
one that people are interacting with.
yeah, it's sort of I don't know, like there's a lot of people who like get to judge off of a little bit of information of you online, or
Right.
like you say one thing and then that one thing will define you forever. It's kind of like fucked up. Like I was thinking of like a bunch of tweets the celebrities have, and then they get um they get shit on for it. Like is a tweet they've done 15 years ago, and everyone's like, oh my god,
Right, right.
he's so horrible, or she look at her, she's so horrible, she doesn't like this and that. I'm like, it's a tweet they've done 15 years ago. 15 years, first of all, you grow throughout 15 years for
Yeah,
sure.
we're archiving what people say to bring it
Yeah,
up against them later, which
yeah,
isn't really an argument years
well, yeah.
later.
Which that's why, like, as for me, like, it kind of scares me to like say, especially now we live in a bring that back to last episode where we're like talking about PC people. Like, nowadays is a very PC world. So saying like something by accident, not even like meaning it, or just saying something as a joke, would be like labeled as an act of treason or something. You got hate speech, bro, and then you get fucking like pitchforks and knives across the media page, and it's like, oh, look at this guy, he's bad, and everyone has this perception of you. It's like, oh wow, I guess
Mm.
like that's it. My reputation's done.